MrBeast in a recently deleted tweet announced that he's done with MrBeast Burger. What does it mean for him, his company, and what kind of lessons other creators can learn from this situation? Let's find out. MrBeast Burger allowed many restaurants ride the coattails of MrBeast's popularity and sustain their business and pay their employees by selling his burgers. It is primarily a network of virtual kitchens that spans US, Canada, UK, Asia, Italy, Ireland, and Sweden. It was conceived by MrBeast and his team at the height of the pandemic. Eventually, the company opened a single physical location in the New Jersey mall. The grand opening attracted over 50,000 people from all over the world and was captured in an outstanding documentary by Colin Samir. MrBeast Burger model is pretty simple. Develop a limited menu of items, create an occasional limited time collaboration with another creator, and provide the virtual kitchens all over the world with the supplies they need to support your brand. Clearly they had the reach, they were able to monetize his global popularity, they were able to generate millions of dollars in revenue for themselves in the kitchens all over the world. So why would Jimmy then do 180 on his first major venture? In his later deleted tweet, MrBeast mentioned lack of ability to provide sufficient quality control and his shift in focus towards Feastables as the primary two reasons why he was done with the Beast Burger. Now, we'll get back to Feastables in a second, but let's start with Jimmy's concern about the quality control. It is a very reasonable and expected issue when you build a business run on a network of virtual kitchens. Those kitchens are usually independently run restaurants or commercial kitchens that service multiple virtual businesses. You can have a single commercial kitchen posing as a burger joint, a trendy coffee shop, and an authentic sushi spot. I'm sure some of them stretched themselves too thin, cut a corner or two, and produced a questionable quality product that had MrBeast logo plastered all over it. I totally get it. I'm not surprised at all that Jimmy, as someone who's passionate about what he was able to produce over the past 10 years, is concerned about the fact that his brand is now associated with that kind of lackluster quality. My real issue with this situation, and one of the three takeaways that we're going to discuss in a couple of minutes, is how Jimmy went about communicating and venting those frustrations, and why I wasn't surprised at all that he had to delete those tweets a few hours later. In my 12+ years of running operations for small businesses, medium businesses, and large enterprises, I'm yet to see a Twitter thread, a public discourse, or an emotion solve the issues that clearly belong in the boardroom. These problems should be discussed directly with the operational partner who assisted MrBeast in expanding his business. There are business commitments, legal contracts signed, and there are people whose livelihood is tied to this brand. Publicly denouncing it and saying you're moving on to a brand that is more fun has some serious business and potentially legal ramifications. To put it in a plain language, people see the tweets, they stop buying the product, other business partners lose their money, and they ended up suing you for millions of dollars in damages. Coming back to Feastables, I think there's a very clear reason why it is fun. For Feastables, Jimmy partnered with Sharma Brands. These guys are master-level experts in product development, launch, and post-release support. And in addition, Feastables hired several seasoned executives from other major snack companies. Combined, they bring so much experience to Feastables that Jimmy doesn't really have to worry about logistics, handling quality control, or other major challenges of running a snack company. He's shielded from those problems and he gets to do the fun part of the job: design, ideate, and promote the product. Every one of us would enjoy that part of the job, but the unfortunate reality of being a business owner is that if you really want to be successful at it, sometimes you gotta roll up your sleeves and get in and dirty with all of those different challenges. And I promise, what they're facing right now with the quality control is just tip of the iceberg of the company that is only about 1 year plus old. And mark my words, Feastables will have a series of its own issues, and some of them might require Jimmy's attention, no matter how experienced his team is. This is just normal part of running a business. Every business goes through its ups and downs. This is the life cycle of your entrepreneurial venture. The way I'd summarize this entire situation is that from where I stand, the major difference between the two companies is that in one case he has a much tighter control, a more experienced team of operators that make his job easy. MrBeast Burger is a great brand, a business idea that affected by the sheer complexity of managing multiple smaller partners all around the globe, and it seemingly does not get the operational attention it deserves, and it starts to show cracks at its foundation. Now, what does it teach us, the creators? I see there are three distinct lessons in this. The first one, decide if you want to be a creator or a business executive long term. You can do both, but only one of them can be your true point of focus. Attempting to make both the focal points of your personal brand will eventually lead to a burnout and failure on both fronts. The second lesson, once you decided your area of focus, find a partner to help you execute the other half of your personal brand. If you want to be an entrepreneur, find a creative director, an editor, producer type partner, or maybe multiple roles under the creative director to help you push the creative side forward. If you want to remain a creator, find a business operating partner who will take on the business problems, the hiring, the logistics, and will allow you to focus on the creative side. The third and final lesson, remove emotions in public spotlight when facing any challenges. I promise you, emotions, a tweet, a thread are never a solution. At best, you might get some validation from your fans, but the downside might result in lawsuits, hit to your reputation, and unnecessary attention. And unnecessary attention like this video. I mean, I hope it doesn't come across as me just making some sort of TMZ-like hit piece on this entire situation. It's still developing. I'm sure between now when I record it and by the time I publish it, there might be a few additional facts coming out to the surface. But ultimately, this is just a great lesson for all the creators around the world. Jimmy is still doing an amazing job. He's still one of my favorite creators, and I think he's trailblazing so many different paths for us creators. And unfortunately, some of those lessons will be based on Jimmy's mistakes rather than his successes. So we have to take them, learn from them, and do better. And if you're curious to learn more about the creators who are balancing being a business owner and being a creator, check out this video that I made about Doug DeMoro. He has a very successful YouTube channel and also happened to own a $100 million business. I'll see you next Saturday. Peace.